As the 19 children have grown up, their lives have taken drastically different paths. Some have adopted a more modern way of living, while others have remained firmly rooted in their conservative beliefs. In this 2025 update, we take a close look at where all 19 Duggar children are now, who are still upholding the family's traditions, who have broken away, and who are making headlines for completely different reasons. The Duggar family initially caught the public's attention with their large household and strict religious lifestyle. This is the most recent information on the constantly changing Duggar family, which includes new babies, unexpected reunions, ongoing tensions, and even a prison sentence. Jana Marie Duggar first came to the public's attention as a teenager in 2008, when her family appeared on the popular TLC reality series 19 Kids and Counting. After the show was canceled in 2021, she continued to appear on the spin-off Counting On with her sisters, but since then, Jana has chosen to live a more private life. Despite generally avoiding controversy, Jana has made a career for herself as a home remodeler and enjoys hobbies like gardening, traveling, and road trips. In September 2021, she made headlines when she was accused of endangering the welfare of a minor. She later clarified on social media that she had been babysitting when one of the children wandered outside unattended, prompting a passerby to call the police. After a lengthy hiatus from social media, Jana returned to Instagram in May 2024 and shared a YouTube video in June about her life on the farm. In the video, she disclosed that her younger sisters Johanna and Josie were assisting her in caring for their herd of sheep and installing a new fence on the property. Police and child welfare authorities later concluded that the incident was an accident and that no harm had been done to the child. In January 2022, she settled the matter outside of court, paying an $880 fine after entering a guilty plea, provided information about her home, stating that she moved into a tiny house a few years ago after buying a former temporary office building at auction. A significant turning point in Jana's life occurred on August 15, 2024, when she married Stephen Wiseman in a traditional, elegant ceremony in Prairie Grove, Arkansas. The wedding, which drew 500 guests, was a lavish celebration that brought together both of their large families. Wiseman, one of 13 siblings, comes from a family that shares values and customs with the Jill Michelle Duggar Dillard. Jill Duggar Dillard grew up in the highly structured conservative world of the Duggar household, where strict religious beliefs guided everything from daily routines to relationships. In 2013, Jill started dating Derek Dill, following the family's well-known relationship rules, which include chaperone dates, side hugs only, and saving hand-holding for special occasions. Jan Duggar spoke about her special day and said how much it meant to have their loved ones there to celebrate such a special moment. Before their June 2014 wedding in front of 1,000 guests and a national television audience, the couple shared their first kiss, symbolizing the Duggar family's emphasis on purity before marriage. However, marriage signaled the start of Jill's gradual separation from her family's strict lifestyle, and over time, she became one of the most outspoken Duggar children, openly challenging the strict upbringing. And Derek, who are now parents to 3 sons, Israel, Samuel, Scott, and Frederick Michael, have chosen a different route than many of her siblings. She has given up some of the traditional norms she was brought up with, wearing pants instead of long skirts, wearing a nose ring, drinking alcohol, and even modeling swimwear that would have been unimaginable in her younger years. In addition to her personal metamorphosis, Jill has also publicly discussed the more sinister facets of her family's beliefs and their affiliation with the Institute for Basic Life Principles, IBLP, a fundamentalist group that she now characterizes as cult-like and fear-driven. In 2023, she appeared on the Shiny Happy People documentary series on Prime Video, which exposed the oppressive teachings of IBLP and how they affected her upbringing. In the same year, she published a memoir titled Counting the Cost, which gave an inside look at the Duggar family's reality TV fame. How her father, Bob Duggar, allegedly tricked her into signing a contract without fully understanding its terms, leaving her with just $175,000 for 10 years of filming. Bob and Michelle Duggar addressed Jill's claims in a statement to the public, stating that they believed it was inappropriate to handle family disputes in a public setting, and that they had tried to deal honorably with their children, finances, and other endeavors. Speaking on Christy Carlson Romano's Vulnerable podcast in October 2023, Jill disclosed that she was open to restoring trust, but was not hurrying the process. "We want to have good relationships and want there to be better trusted," she said, stressing that while healing was possible, it would take time. These accusations came further before the publication of her book in September 2023, when she disclosed that she no longer had one-on-one contact with her father despite the estrangement. Like many of her siblings, Jessa Duggar Seewald's life was extensively covered by reality television. First on 19 Kids and Counting, and then on Counting On, Jessa followed in her older sister Jill's footsteps and courted Ben Seewald. In November 2014, the two married in a lavish ceremony that was filmed for television, just like Jill and Derek Dillard's wedding that year. Jessa and Ben wasted no time in beginning a family in November. Their growing family continued to grow with the arrival of their daughters Ivy Jane in May 2019 and Fern in July 2021, and most recently in December 2023, they welcomed their fifth child, a son named George Augustine. However, Jessa and Ben have also experienced heartbreak along the way. In February 2023, Jessa talked about a devastating miscarriage that occurred between Fern and their first child, Spurgeon Elliott, who was born in 2015. 2 years later, their second son, Henry Wilberforce, was born in February 2017. In a tearful YouTube video, Jessa and George described how she and Ben dealt with the painful experience, relying on their faith and one another for support despite their difficulties. They have established a stable life for their family in Springdale, Arkansas, which is only a short drive from her childhood home in Taneytown. "Nothing could have prepared me for the weight of those words in that moment." In order to provide a comfortable environment for their expanding family, they bought a house in early 2022 and undertook a significant renovation project. Although she has continued to be somewhat active in public life via social media and YouTube, Jessa has mostly avoided the spotlight since the end of the countdown in 2021, concentrating instead on raising her 5 children and giving her online followers glimpses into their daily lives. Jinger Jinger Duggar Vuolo's journey to marriage started when her older sister Jessa introduced her to former professional soccer player Jeremy Vuolo in 2016. Their relationship progressed swiftly, with Jinger and Jeremy starting courting in June 2016, getting engaged a month later, and getting married in November of that year. Matchmaker Jessa served as the matron of honor at their wedding. Since then, Jinger and Jeremy have built a life together, welcoming 2 daughters. Evangeline Jo, born in November 2020 after a miscarriage that year, and Felicity, born in July 2018. In a February 2025 interview, Jinger disclosed that she has been depending on her sister Johanna for support during her pregnancy. "We're kind of in the same season," she explained, explaining that Joy has 3 children and I'm going on 3, so we talk a lot. Before their family is expanding once more, the couple announced in October 2024 that they were expecting their 3rd child. Jinger has made headlines not only for her expanding family, but also for her fearless stand against her traditional upbringing. She was among the first. In her 2023 memoir, Becoming Free Indeed, Jinger detailed how the strict religious teachings of her childhood instilled fear and control, shaping every aspect of her life. She told people that the teachings she grew up under were harmful, damaging, and had lasting effects, even though she still considers herself a Christian. This caused children to speak out against the Institute's teachings in Basic Bic Life Principles, or IBLP, which she described as having cult-like tendencies. Doctrines of IP by concentrating instead on what she refers to as disentangling her faith from the toxic aspects of her upbringing. Her candid opinions drew criticism, but Jinger persisted in wanting to tell her story, and in January 2025, she released a second book called People Please Her, which examined her personal development and the challenges of escaping from outside expectations. Thinking back on her choice to write the book, she told readers that her people-pleasing past would never have permitted me to do that I would have been. Instead, she found the experience to be so liberating, welcoming the chance to be candid and open about her journey. Now living far from her roots in Arkansas, Jinger and Jeremy have moved to Santa Clarita, California, where they bought a Tudor-style home in August 2024. For Jinger, This move represents a new beginning as she continues to redefine herself beyond the confines of her childhood, while raising her kids in a more open and contemporary setting. Growing up in the large Duggar household, Anna Forey was known for her adventurous and vivacious personality, frequently choosing outdoor activities and hands-on work over traditionally feminine roles. Her tomboyish nature set her apart from some of her older sisters, but like them, she adhered to the strict rules of the family's courtship when she started dating Austin Forey, a longtime family friend. Before they started courting, the two had been friends for 15 years. Swiftly, and they were married in a stunning Arkansas wedding in May 2017 in front of family, friends, and counting on fans. A few months later, the newlyweds announced they were expecting their first child. And in February 2018, Joy gave birth to their son Gideon Martin. As she disclosed on an episode of Counting On, being a mother is in many ways easier than I thought, and then in many ways harder than I thought. Johanna later expressed her sorrow in an emotional Instagram post, writing, "We had our ultrasound and they told us that our baby girl's heart had stopped beating." In the months that followed, she leaned on her faith, family, and Austin for support. The couple's joyous announcement of their second child in May 2019 was met with heartbreak when they discovered during their 20-week ultrasound that their baby had died in utero. Despite their tragic miscarriage, Johanna and Austin didn't give up on expanding their family. In August 2020, their rainbow baby daughter Evelyn May arrived, bringing joy back into their lives. In May 2023, they welcomed their third child, a son named Gunnar James. Now a mother of 3, Johanna balances parenting with sharing updates on her family's journey on their YouTube channel, Follow the Forsyths. The arrival of Johannah Faith Duggar, the first daughter to be born after a string of 6 consecutive boys, was a significant moment for the Duggar family. Her birth was documented in Raising 16 Children, and one of the family's first reality television specials aired in March 2006. From infancy onward, Johanna was featured on 19 Kids and Counting, growing up in front of the cameras alongside her many other family members. Johanna, one of the younger Duggar children, was frequently spotted accompanying her older sisters in the later seasons of the family's reality TV run. However, Johanna has kept a relatively private life since Counting On ended in 2021, and as a young adult, she seems to be concentrating on her own interests rather than assuming the spotlight, according to the Duggar family website. Johanna has not pursued a public music career because the project gave fans a rare glimpse into her artistic side, unlike some of her older siblings. However, Johanna does not maintain an active social media presence, making it difficult for fans to follow her journey with many of her older sisters. Johanna enjoys playing volleyball and drawing, showcasing her creative and athletic side. In 2018, she also showed off her musical talents when she recorded an album titled Happy Heart with her younger sisters Jennifer Jordan Grace and Josie. Now married and with their own families, it is unclear if Johanna will follow the family's customs or forge her own distinct future. For the time being, she is one of the more private members of the Duggar family, concentrating on her interests and life away from reality TV. Jennifer Danielle Duggar, one of the younger family members, spent a large portion of her early years growing up in the spotlight by appearing on 19 Kids and Counting and later on. The Duggar family website describes Jennifer as the most crafty member of the family, enjoying hands-on projects and artistic activities whether it's painting, sewing, or making homemade gifts. Jennifer has a talent for expressing herself through arts and crafts, and her love of animals has been highlighted in various ways. However, in recent years, Jennifer has maintained a relatively low profile in comparison to some of her older siblings. Notwithstanding her reserved demeanor, Jennifer has been spotted in infrequent family social media posts over the years. In August 2021, her mother Michelle posted a touching birthday eulogy on Instagram honoring Jennifer's generosity and skills. And in June 2022, Jennifer made a rare public appearance when she visited Jinger in California with her older sisters Jana and Jessa. Jinger posted pictures from the trip on Instagram, calling Jennifer her little sis, and providing fans with a glimpse of their sisterly bond. The trip was a special chance for Jennifer to experience a new setting and spend time with her West Coast-based sister. Now in her late teens, Jennifer has remained out of the spotlight, leading a more private life than her older siblings. As she gets older, Fans of the Duggar family are interested to see what direction she will go in, whether she chooses to follow in her older sister's footsteps or Jordan Grace Makia Duggar carves out her own unique journey. Jordan Grace Makia Duggar's arrival occurred during a period when her family was already well known in the reality television world as 17 Kids and Counting, the early season of 19 Kids and Counting. Her birth was highlighted in a special episode, establishing her as one of the Duggar children whose earliest moments were shared with millions of viewers. Growing up in such a large household, Jordan Grace was frequently seen on 19 Kids and Counting, usually as one of the youngest members of the Duggar family. She did not have the same level of public exposure as some of her older siblings. Even after the family's reality show was cancelled, Jordan has remained relatively private, appearing mostly in family events and occasional social media updates, according to the Duggar family website. Jordan Grace has a kind and self-assured personality and enjoys creative endeavors. She enjoys art and calligraphy in particular, which let her express herself through lovely handwriting and drawings. She also has a passion for fashion, which makes her stand out in a family that is known for its simple styles and modest dress code. As she gets older, it will be interesting to see if she pursues this interest further. Jordan Grace has also assisted with many of her older siblings' weddings, frequently acting as a flower girl. And with so many older siblings starting families of their own, she has had the chance to take part in many Duggar weddings over the years, creating memorable memories along the way. Jordan is currently in her mid-teens and has not yet entered the spotlight like some of her older sisters, but she may decide to carve out her own special route in the future thanks to her creative abilities and strong personality. Josie Brooklyn Duggar was born in a dramatic and life-threatening emergency at just 25 weeks gestation, weighing just 1 pound 6 ounces. Josie spent the first few months of her life in the neonatal intensive care unit because of her early arrival. Even after she was allowed to return home, her health continued to be a concern in 2014, when she was 5 years old. Her premature birth and fragile early months were documented on 19 Kids and Counting, allowing viewers to witness the emotional and difficult journey her family went through as they cared for their tiniest member. Despite these early struggles, Josie has grown into a thriving, energetic teenager. The Duggar family frequently reflects on the miracle of her survival by posting heartfelt tributes on her birthday and during World Prematurity Day. In one Instagram post, they called her birth the most difficult time in our family's life, but credited their faith for getting them through it. This was a frightening moment when Josie had a seizure. Her eldest sister, Jana Duggar, stepped in quickly to help while the family sought medical attention. According to the Duggar family website, Josie still resides in her Arkansas home with her parents and her siblings who are still single. She is a lively and active child who is always on the go. She also has a love for music and is known for being a talented musician, though the details of her skill set have not been made public. As the youngest Duggar, Josie continues to be the baby of the family in many ways. Even though she has mostly stayed at home, Joseph Duggar Joseph spent a large portion of his childhood in the spotlight, appearing on 19 Kids and Counting and later on Counting On. However, since marrying Kendra Caldwell, the daughter of the Duggars' longtime pastor, the couple has gradually distanced themselves from the spotlight, preferring to concentrate on their expanding family over public appearances. Fans are still following her journey, curious to see how she will forge her own distinct path as she gets older. Despite the fact that most Duggar siblings have historically announced their pregnancies on television or social media, Joseph and Kendra married on September 8, 2017, in a ceremony attended by their large extended families and broadcast on Counting On. Like many Duggar couples, they wasted no time in starting a family, welcoming their first child, Garrett David, in June 2018, followed by a daughter, Addison Renee, in November 2019, and another son, Brooklyn Praise, in February 2021. Unlike some of his siblings, Joseph has not shown any signs of questioning or straying from the Institute's teachings on basic life principles. Specials Joseph and Kendra chose a different approach with their fourth child. Instead of making an official announcement, fans only found out Kendra was pregnant when a family photo appeared on Reddit, showing her with a noticeable baby bump. The baby's birth was never publicly acknowledged, further solidifying the couple's desire to distance themselves from the public eye. While some of his sisters, including Jill and Jinger, have publicly distanced themselves from IBLP and spoken out against its strict teachings, Joseph and Kendra remain firmly rooted in the beliefs and practices of their upbringing. The Duggar children were raised in the conservative Christian organization known as IBLP, and they seem to be fully committed to the group's traditional values, adopting a lifestyle that reflects the one they grew up with. The couple is currently thought to be living in Arkansas. With no recent appearances on any Duggar-related media and no active social media presence, it is evident that Joseph and Kendra have chosen a path of privacy, putting their faith and family before fame. Josiah Duggar was known for his gregarious and humorous personality while growing up in the Duggar household, but since marrying Lauren Swanson, he has chosen to keep his distance from the public eye, maintaining his. The couple's early married life was extensively documented, particularly their tragic battle with pregnancy loss prior to welcoming their first daughter. Lauren suffered a miscarriage, which she and Joshua openly shared with fans in an emotional episode of the show. Family life is extremely private. Josiah and Lauren started courting in early 2018 and were engaged just a few months later. Their wedding took place on June 30th, 2018 in a ceremony attended by their large families and close friends. In contrast to many of Josiah's siblings, who continue to update followers on their expanding families, Josiah and Lauren became more private after the birth of their rainbow baby, a daughter named Bella Mauro, in November 2019. They discreetly deleted their Instagram account and stopped sharing details about their personal lives, but according to rumors and reports from Duggar family followers, Josiah and Lauren have since welcomed. Despite their retreat from public life, the couple has chosen to keep their younger children's exact birth dates a secret. They have 2 more children, a daughter named Daisy and a son named Ra. However, people close to the family have occasionally brought up Josiah and Lauren's shared love of music, stating that they enjoy singing together, which has been described as a sweet and heartfelt aspect of their relationship. Live in Arkansas, probably close to the rest of the Duggar family. Unlike some of his siblings who have voiced their disapproval of the family's strict religious upbringing, Josiah has kept quiet, so it's unclear if he and Lauren continue to adhere to the Institute's teachings on basic life principles, IBLP, or have chosen a more independent route. For the time being, Josiah and Lauren appear content to live their lives out of the spotlight, concentrating on raising their kids in private and preserving their family time. As young adults, their bachelor days, which included a relaxed lifestyle with a ping-pong table in their living room, are long gone as both brothers have now settled into married life and fatherhood. The second set of Duggar twins, Jeremiah and Jeremiah Duggar, were born on December 30th, 1998, and grew up in the enormous Duggar household. The brothers were practically inseparable and shared a room, hobbies, and even a house. Jedidiah, who is often called Jed, married Katey. In an intimate yet traditional Duggar-style wedding in April 2021, the couple quickly began a family, welcoming their first child, a son named Truett Oliver, in May 2022, and their second child, a daughter named Nora, who recently celebrated her first birthday in early 2024. Jed and Katey regularly post touching family moments and milestones on social media, including the quieter twin Jeremiah's romance with Hannah Wiseman, a member of the musically gifted Wiseman family. Despite keeping a more private online presence than some of their siblings, Hannah occasionally shares updates about their expanding family. One of the more interesting aspects of Jeremiah's life is his potential career in aviation. A recent social media post from Hannah suggested that he might be working at an airport. The couple got married in March 2022, and like Jed and Katey, they embraced parenthood right away. Their first daughter, Brinley Noel, was born in December 2022, and they had a second little girl in 2024. Jed and Jeremiah remained close, raising their children at almost the same pace. Their lives have changed significantly since their bachelor days, but their bond as twins remains strong as they navigate parenthood side by side. This is not surprising given the Duggars' well-documented love of planes. Several of the Duggar brothers, including John David, have pursued aviation, and Jeremiah himself was known to have an interest in piloting. Given how private Jason has been about his personal life, the 25-year-old recently shared a series of beach photos featuring an unidentified young woman, which sparked speculation among Duggar fans. The picture sent social media into a frenzy, with eager followers scrutinizing every detail. What stood out the most, though, was the mystery woman, who was rumored to be named Maddie, wearing a sundress with thin. Although the straps were a significant departure from the Duggar family's customarily modest dress code, what was perhaps even more shocking was that in one of the photos, Jason and Maddie shared a front embrace. This would have been a significant departure from the Duggar courtship rule RS, which normally emphasizes side hugs, chaperone dates, and reserving physical affection like kissing and hand-holding until engagement or marriage. With Jason's romantic life appearing to be moving forward, fans are left. Considering how quickly previous Duggar courtships have resulted in engagements, it's entirely possible that wedding bells could be ringing in the near future. For now, Maddie's identity is unknown, but one thing is certain. Jason's love life has officially taken center stage. There are no official confirmations yet, but Duggar watchers are closely monitoring Jason's social media for any updates. James Duggar has been making the most of his young adult years by embracing adventure and travel in a way that sets him apart from many of his more settled siblings. Over the past year, he has visited several international destinations including Switzerland, London, and Italy, documenting parts of his journey along the way. It remains to be seen if he will follow in the footsteps of his older siblings and marry within months, or if he will choose a different path. In addition to his global adventures, James maintains a busy YouTube channel where he shares everything from family moments to thrill-seeking stunts. One of his more eye-catching videos featured an intense game of soccer with cars, which was unquestionably entertaining, but also dangerous. His travels suggest that he's breaking free from the traditional Duggar mold and prioritizing new experiences and personal freedom over getting married too soon like many of his older brothers. Fans have questioned the safety and wisdom of James and his friends' use of vehicles to push an oversized soccer ball around a field. But for James, it seems to be all about pushing boundaries, having fun, and living life to the fullest. In contrast to many of his siblings, who have married and started a family early, James seems to be enjoying his independence. His risk-taking and travel-heavy lifestyle suggests that he's not in a rush to follow the traditional Duggar path, whether he eventually decides to settle down or keeps forging his own special path. One thing is certain. James is making sure to enjoy the journey. Justin Duggar, one of the youngest Duggar sons to get married, is still contentedly living in Texas with his wife Claire Spivey. The two married in February 2021 when Justin was just 18 years old, making them one of the youngest Duggar couples to get married. Given how rapidly the majority of his older siblings began expanding their families, many fans anticipated a baby announcement shortly after their wedding. But in a shocking departure from Duggar custom, Justin and Claire have decided to enjoy married life and take their time before starting a family. This is unorthodox by Duggar standards, but they appear to be in no rush and are instead concentrating on creating a life together. The couple loves the outdoors and animals, and they own ponies, which Claire has flaunted on social media. Their Texas lifestyle seems more relaxed than the hustle and bustle of the city. Fans have conjectured whether Justin and Claire's slower timeline is a reflection of their independence from Duggar traditions, or just a personal choice to enjoy a few years of marriage before taking the next step. Regardless of the reason, it's evident that Justin and Claire are doing things their own way. Justin and Claire recently took a road trip to pick up a new truck back in Arkansas, another indication that they are focusing on practical aspects of their life before jumping into parenthood. Jackson Duggar, the youngest of the Duggar sons and the 15th child overall in the large Duggar family, is proving that not every Duggar couple takes the same route. He was one of the last children to grow up on 19 kids and counting, and although he was often viewed as the mischievous younger brother with a fun-loving personality, he has since moved out of the background and started to forge his own path. A few years ago, Jackson graduated from Alert Academy Air. Jackson has also participated in Bible-based theater productions as a Reddit user. Emergency Resource Team in Texas is a Christian military-style training program that emphasizes discipline, survival skills, and faith-based leadership. Many Duggar boys have attended the academy over the years because it fits with the family's deeply conservative beliefs and values. Alert Academy aims to instill strong work ethics, teamwork, and spiritual growth, making it a natural fit for the Duggar sons. Fans recently shared pictures of him acting in a Bible play, but there are still few details available. It's unclear if Jackson is serious about acting or if this was just a one-time role, but it shows a different side of him that they haven't seen much of before. As he enters adulthood, Jackson is at a crossroads, and it's unclear if he will marry young and stick to the Duggar family's traditional ways. Fans are watching to see what Jackson Josh James Duggar will do next. He is currently serving a 12-year and 7-month sentence for his 2021 conviction on charges of receiving and possessing child sexual abuse material. His earliest possible release date is October 2, 2032. Upon his eventual release, Duggar will face 20 years of supervised. Due to the nature of his offenses, he was placed on probation, which requires him to register as a sex offender, forbid unsupervised contact with minors, including his own children, and forbid him from using the internet without first obtaining permission from his probation officer. In June 2024, Duggar's legal attempts to overturn his conviction came to a halt when the U.S. Supreme Court refused to hear his appeal, leaving the lower court's ruling in effect. In the meantime, Duggar's wife Anna has mostly been kept out of the spotlight. However, in December 2024, she was seen for the first time in 2 years still wearing her wedding ring, which raised questions about the couple's marital status. Despite the controversy surrounding Josh, Anna has supported him in public in the past, though it's unclear what her current position is inside the prison. Reports indicate that Duggar has been transferred to a renovated. As of February 2025, John David Duggar and his wife Abby Burnett continue to live a family-centered lifestyle, while keeping a relatively low profile in public. He has been given certain privileges in his dormitory, but because of his conviction he is probably under close supervision and has restrictions on his activities within the facility. Some of his family members have distanced themselves from him, while others are supportive, but hardly ever discuss his circumstances in public. John David and Abby shared a new family photo in January 2025, which coincided with Grace's 5th birthday and John David's 35th birthday. This milestone came just weeks after the couple celebrated their 5th wedding anniversary, marking a rare departure from their typical hands-on parenting style. The couple married in November 2018 and has 2 children, a daughter named Grace Annette, born on January 7, 2020, and a son named Charlie, whose birth details have remained more private to mark the beginning of the year. While they are still active on social media, their updates are much less frequent than those of other Duggar family members, and they tend to focus on meaningful moments rather than everyday life. John David has long been known for his steady, reliable nature within the Duggar family, frequently taking on leadership roles among his siblings. He has been described as a pastor continuing to uphold the family's strong values. This was their first overnight trip without their children, giving fans a glimpse into their special getaway through social media posts. Despite their public association with the Duggar name, John David and Abby have carved out a life that prioritizes family, faith, and privacy. Their approach has resonated with fans who value their authenticity and the quieter way they do things. He has also maintained his long-standing interests in law enforcement and aviation. Meanwhile, Abby, a licensed nurse before marriage, has shown her entrepreneurial spirit by starting a business, but she has balanced that with her primary role as a stay-at-home mom. They handle life differently than some of their more vocal siblings. What do you think the 19 Duggar kids' lives will be like in 2025? Please share your thoughts in the space provided below. We hope you found this video useful. If so, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next videos.